Welcome to the Rubio Method. Venture into the unfiltered world of Chris Rubio. The Rubio Method delivers an unapologetically edgy take on the often overlooked world of men's mental health. Rubio, a master communicator, wields a potent knack for no BS enlightenment. Step into this no-nonsense arena, where men are challenged to evolve and confront the man staring back at them from the mirror.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, all my Canadians. I was just notified that it's Happy Canada Day. Is that a thing, Jenna? What does that mean? Is that like your 4th of July? Or is it like a day of independence? Sheldon, just from the ride, just wished me a Happy Canada Day. So, hey, welcome. My name is Chris Rubio. This is episode 67. It's a day earlier, but I'm taking off with the family tomorrow to the lake, and I wanted to make sure I got this episode in. This is going to be all, Jenna tells me it's a celebration of Canada. A celebration of what? Can't be the food. But they're nice people. Celebration of being nice people. That's got to be it, because they are very nice. I've been wanting to get this episode out. This is going to be all about the debate on Thursday. All of it. I was watching it. It was unbelievable. Chevy and Nasty, Happy Canada Day, bro. They will be live tomorrow at 10 p.m. Pacific time. They have a great show, The Ride. It can take you anywhere. So I'm gonna try to break this debate down into 5 different categories. The 5 categories are always hit. They might kind of mold together a little bit, but I'm gonna do my best. So everything happens for a reason. We're gonna talk about the history of Joey B and how we got here. Okay, so we're going to talk about his history and how we got here. There are winners and losers in life. People are finally seeing what many have been talking about for the past 4.5, 5 years. Accept and embrace. Joey B's clearly not the answer. But what's next? Working hard is not enough. The wheels are coming off, and now the backpedaling has begun. We're going to talk about the mainstream media on that one. That's going to get real nice and juicy for you. And confidence is the key. I was actually nervous about the debate. I thought El Trumpo should not do it. He was ahead in everything. He shouldn't do it, but he did, and it paid off. So we're going to talk about that, all of that, and much, much more on today's episode 67 of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching the Rubio Method.
Let's get going, gang!
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. Artbeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up to Rubio. Why me? Because I gave Jenna all the show notes just today, and she did an excellent job of getting them all together. So if there's any glitches, blame it on me. Do not blame it on Canadian Jenna, because it's her day of celebrate of Canada. I'm not even sure what that means, but okay, I'm all for it, because I like Canadians. Not the food, though. Anyway, so Thursday night, I'm flying from Spokane, Washington to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm landing, boom, and then I have to jump on another plane right when the debate is about to start. And this debate to me was kind of like the Super Bowl. I wanted to see what was going on, and I'm like, oh, good God, please let the plane have TV and the Wi-Fi so you can see it all. Not only that, I knew my friends would be texting me back and forth, doing all this stuff, watching it, going on, because it was like I said, a Super Bowl to me and several of my friends that are a little bit political. Let's just say that. So I get on the plane, and sure as hell, it's on, and it's able to watch it. And I'm like seat 19B. Yes, it was a middle seat. I wasn't happy about it. Yes, the guy next to me was about 380 pounds. I was definitely not happy about that. But the lady on my left was teeny tiny. So I kind of she lost. I leaned over to her because this dude was leaning on me. His teat was on me. It was just not a good seat. Thankfully, the AC was pumping. And I'm looking around, and I would say out of 50 screens, going back and forth, I would say probably 48 had the debate on. And I'm not only just watching the debate and I'm answering texts and I'm doing that, I'm checking X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm looking at people's reactions. And throughout the entire debate, all 90 minutes of it, I'm seeing people go like this, to like, whoa, to, oh, to, aw, where they felt like sad, to laughing out loud, which I did several times, and I don't care if anyone heard me, to people doing like when you go to a horror movie, like you want to go to the horror movie, but you don't want to go to the horror movie, and you watch it like this, and you kind of look, so you're basically waiting for the car crash. That's the way I'd say probably 60% of the people were on the plane, where they were just watching it kind of like they were smelling onions or smelling a baby's diaper. Yo, Rubio, Ice Alpha 10, what's up? And I say the rest were just looking at it with like sadness, like, what's happening here? Why is this like this? So everything happens for a reason. We're going to talk about the history of Joey B, because to say he went down in flames for this debate would be the understatement of the century. If you were an honest human being and you watched this debate and said, well, Joey B obviously won the debate, it was phenomenal. Okay, you're lying to yourself, or you're being paid to promote a lie. There's just no way around it. So now they've gone from right after it. And it was so bad that during the middle of it, the White House never put out, oh, Joey B's got a cold. That's why he's slow like this. What? Okay, well, we'll talk about that cold later, because he did events the next day with no cold, which is weird. So he had a 90-minute cold. He's the first one in history to have a 90-minute cold documented on CNN. All right, so now they're going from, holy hell, what's going on, to do we get rid of him, to we should get rid of him, to no, we're not going to get rid of him. And now he's the comeback kid. He's the comeback kid. All right, so this is going to be about a 4-minute video. I'm not going to show you the entirety. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to be on screen. Every time I hold my hand up, that's Jenna's going to pause it, and we're going to discuss a little bit about what's going on, because they're going to go through the history of Joey B, and I'm going to describe it for you as well. So Jenna, do you have clip number 1 ready for me?
I don't think it's over. This moment in the race fits the entire narrative of Joe Biden's life. In his personal and professional life, Biden has repeatedly risen up from rock bottom. It's what we love about him. So many draw hope from his empathy and his ability to have perspective, even right now, and to persevere when he is completely counted out. His list of losses and failures is long and would be unbearable for most.
Okay, when you're talking about a list of losses and failures, maybe don't lead with that, because you can't come back from all of them. You literally can't, or else there'd be no comeback kid. You'd just be the kid. You'd be the guy that doesn't have losses. So jumping on the whole, look at all these losses and failures, this guy is so terrible, blah, blah, blah. Not a good start, honey. Go ahead, Jenna, keep playing.
In 1972, his wife and baby daughter were killed in a car accident. He had been elected to the Senate and took the oath of office in his surviving son's hospital room to remain by their bedsides. In 1987, his first campaign for president came to an end, and so nearly did his life when a few months.
Okay, I get it. The whole wife and kid dying, tragic, not a good thing. Do you really need to take the oath of office next to your kid's hospital bed? Maybe just step out into the hall. Don't make him a publicity stunt. And if you're away from him for 45 seconds, I think it's okay. That's just, that to me is kind of gross. I don't know about you, but to me, that's a little bit gross. Go ahead, Jenna.
He suffered a brain aneurysm. It was so severe that
if you have a brain aneurysm, I'm assuming that affects your brain. Maybe thought processes are going to slow down, and maybe you're still not as sharp as you once were. Keep going, Jenna.
That his doctor told him his chance of survival was less than half just to survive the surgery. And even if he lived, a long list of physical and mental limitations were likely. At his bedside before the surgery, he told his sons he was proud of them. And then Joe Biden survived the surgery, rehabilitated, and didn't look back. In 2008, his second bid for the presidency came to another early, painful end. After a poor showing in Iowa, he finished near the bottom with less than 1%.
So now he's ran for president twice already. He's failed twice. This one was because he got caught plagiarizing speeches, but they didn't mention that one. Okay, he's just ran for president, didn't make it. Ran for president again. Mind you, this is like 35, 40 years ago. Okay, didn't make it. And so they're just talking more about his failures. Got it. Seems like an ideal candidate in 2000. Go ahead, Jenna.
Percent of the vote. His campaign bottoming out after another low blow. And yet, the following summer, Biden would be back on the Democratic ticket as Barack Obama's running.
Okay, in case you haven't figured this out, a president always has people that follow him. That's obvious, okay? Whoever doesn't follow you you need to find your yang. So of my yin to my yang. So for me, I'm a more brash, abrasive human being. I would need a soft, cuddly, gentle human being as my VP because I'm going to be the gigantic ass. I know that. I'm going to be in your face, boom, boom, boom. Bottom line, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to need someone that's going to clean up the mess. Like I always joke around, AC of AC Sports Live, Anthony Cobbs, he'd be a perfect VP for me because he thinks this way. He's calm, he's rational, where I'm just like right in your face the entire time and much more abusive and abrasive. I don't know if abusive, yeah, probably abusive and abrasive. All right. So why does Barack pick old white guy? Because he's old white guy who's been in politics for 7,000 years. Barack Obama, he'd been like a YMC manager. He was been in politics for like literally 8 minutes at that point. So why does he pick? He's the young black guy with no political experience. He's got to pick the old white guy with tons of political experience. That's why he was picked. That's it. Not because of how great of a politician Joey B was. Go ahead.
Mate. 5 years later, a year into his second term as vice president, Joe Biden's son, Beau, was diagnosed with brain cancer, believed to have been caused by exposure to burn pits while his son was serving in Iraq as a captain.
Okay, tragic that his son died of cancer, brain cancer. Not a good thing, obviously. But every single speech, you can find literally thousands of speeches. Joey B says, my son died in Iraq. No, he didn't. Okay, it's literally a proven fact. And she says right there, it's believed that the chemicals from Iraq caused the brain cancer. How many other his platoon members got brain cancer from it? That's the second question I would ask, or the first question. Okay, but he's lied repeatedly about this and brings it up no matter what. He goes to talk to some family where troops have died. He'll say, oh, my son died in Iraq too. No, he didn't, man. Stop pandering. Go ahead, Jenna.
Captain in the Army National Guard. Beau would die 2 years later. The second child Joe Biden would have to bury. That is the lowest of lows in Joe Biden's life. In 2015, another political failure. Barack Obama chose to support Hillary Clinton as his heir apparent and not even his own vice president.
What does that tell you? If he's been with Barack Obama for 8 years, he's been his right-hand man, okay? They're two twins, two peas in a pod. And after 8 years, it's obviously always had the VP go next, okay? Barack Obama doesn't put him in power. Doesn't say, hey, I'm picking Joey B as the next president. I'm standing by him. I'm backing him. He goes straight to Hillary. How does anyone not look at that statement and go, ooh, yeah, how come we didn't think about that? Why did Barry not pick Joey B? No one thinks that's weird? If you're on Facebook, YouTube, X, or LinkedIn, make sure you can comment as much as you want on this one. Go ahead, Jenna.
After numerous political and personal setbacks, Joe Biden may have questioned whether he would ever return to presidential politics again. And then came Charlottesville and the vile, racist march by white supremacists and neo-Nazis across the UVA campus. As a direct response to what he saw as a threat to our nation's core values, Biden announced his third try for the White House. And just like his first two presidential campaigns, he was staring at an early...
Okay, so the Charlottesville thing has already been debunked 7,000 times. El Trumpo debunked it live during the debate where he said, Joey B came out during his campaign speech for when he was running, he said, I'm running because El Trumpo said, very fine people at Charlottesville. And it's been proven countless times. I've proven it to you 15 times on my show or the Daily Rundown with Rubio, 15 more times. It's not true. It's literally just not true. Okay. Jenna just said she got a tornado alarm on her phone. So if we black out here, she's like the Wizard of Oz or something like that, which is ironic because I'm kind of pulling back the curtain on this whole thing. See how I worked that one in there? All right. So go ahead, Jenna.
Exit in the race, stumbling in the first Democratic debate after a broadside by Kamala Harris. He finished a distant fourth in Iowa and an even worse fifth in New Hampshire. All experts.
Okay, so Kamala, this was a great debate moment where she flat out calls him a racist. She says, you're a racist, Joey B. Okay, Nana Mona's got the tornado warning as well. Good to know. Good. I'm glad you're watching the show too, though, Nana Mona. So Kamala calls him a racist, but now she's his VP. So she's works hand in hand with a racist? Is that the way that works? Or can you just lose your racistness? Is that a word? Racistness? I don't get it. And now let's look about how bad he's doing, how bad Joey B's doing. Go ahead, Jenna.
Just like right now, said it was over for the man from Scranton.
No one has gone this far, finishing 4th and 5th and vastly under expectations. And when you make an argument that you're the most electable Democrat in the field and you can't back that up, that's a serious problem.
There's tremendous amount of goodwill. For the former vice president.
Jenna, you can just keep it on me. We're done with that. And basically what they're going to say for that next part is that all of a sudden, then everyone started backing out. And Joe, who was falling behind, he was like 5th, 6th place. All of a sudden, he became the top of the lead. Remember, this is when Bernie Sanders was going. And all of a sudden, he got backed out because they figured out probably not a good move to have Bernie Sanders in there, considering he's a little bit odd and he really pushes socialism. So they wanted someone that they could quote unquote control. That's just my opinion. I mean, they needed someone who was basically just a talking piece of what they're going to do, because this guy, as now it's clearly apparent, he doesn't have anything left. He's got nothing left. And I'm not even as much angry as it is, but I'm sad. Like, I feel bad for this guy because whatever legacy he did have as a human being and as a politician, now he's just going to go down as like this old, demented politician. And the more clips you see of it, or if you watch that debate at all, like I said, it was a car crash and sad. And we're going to get back to that. We're going to start showing some more clips when we get to there are winners and losers in life. On that note, Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method. Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Whitney at One Shot Charlie's. I'm sure I will see you tomorrow. Remember, if you do not live in Northern Idaho, you can still buy gear and all that good stuff, gift cards. Just go to One Shot Charlie's on their Facebook, and they do a great job. Have a good time there, I'm telling you. Welcome back to episode 67. So we're just breaking down the history of Joey B and how he's gotten to where he is and what's going on. And I hope you enjoyed it. But now we're going to talk about there are winners and losers in life. People are finally starting to see what people like me have been seeing for about the past 4.5 years. And I spoke to several of my friends that just say, let's lean left. And they flat out, I'm shocked. And I go, shocked about what? They're like, well, I didn't know he was that bad. And I go, what are you talking about? I go, I've been telling you for 4 years, man. I've even shown you clips. And he goes, oh, yeah, but the press secretary said those are fake clips, or what do they call it? Deep cuts or something like that. Deep fakes, cheap fakes is what she said. Like, no, this is actual footage. So if you're just getting your news from the mainstream media, you're lost. You're completely lost because they're just funneling you this information where Joey B's great, Joey B's great, Joey B's great. And I'm going to show you a lot of clips where they're talking how great Joey B was literally a week ago. 1 week ago that, oh my God, this guy is so sharp as a tack. And people like me who talk to other people, they're like, did they not see him fall off a bike? Did they not see him trip over that wire? Did they not see him fall going upstairs to Air Force One? Did they not see him literally where he can't speak? Did they not see where he freezes on stage? Did they not see where he's got note cards that say, hey, call Jenna Ganje she works for ABC. This is what she's going to look like. This is the question she's going to ask. They had pictures of note cards that he has where he's not even allowed to ask questions. Have they not seen where he says, I'm not supposed to talk about that, I'll get in trouble? In trouble from who, man? You're the top dog, allegedly. Who are you getting in trouble with? I don't understand it. So, and this is the same guy also, where remember he said he's not fit to stand trial. He just said that a couple weeks ago. And the clips of it, they won't. Yeah, Nanamona, thinking both our countries are in trouble. Yeah, he's not fit to stand trial. What? He's fit to run the president but can't stand trial? It's not laying bricks. It's not going on Jeopardy. I don't understand. So this happened about the first 7 minutes of the debate. This is his first glitch. It's going to be clip 2, Jenna. This is the first 10 minutes, first about 7 minutes. Go ahead, Jenna.
All those things we need to do, childcare, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Like, that's sad. And people are, well, he's always had a stutter, Rubio. Go back and show me footage of him having a stutter. They even did a documentary. I was reading up on this, where they did a documentary on how he's overcome his stutter, but there wasn't one clip of him stuttering. Literally not one bit of tape. So all of a sudden he's got a stutter now? No, man. And you can see where his wires, you can see where he's trying to focus, but he just can't. It's an old dementia guy. You could just tell where it's not going. You can't even pedal a bike any faster. There's no pedals. There's no wheels. It's just the frame sitting in concrete. And Joey B's just sitting there riding, trying to get going. Like, no, dude, there's no pedals. There's no wheels, man. Okay. And then you can see he doesn't know what he says. This is crazy. Clip 3, Jenna. Watch this one.
Move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
So that's just funny. That's one of the scenes where I laughed out loud, okay? Because to El Trumpo's eyes, number one, he's like, what's happening here? He's looking like, what's going on? Is this really happening? And they, hey, El Trumpo, what do you think? I have no idea what he said. And honestly, I don't think he does either. And you notice they don't even ask Joey B to, hey, redo what you said, because they know he's got nothing. And these are CNN moderators. This is his home team. This is his home announcers. This is his own field. And they had nothing. There's nothing they could do about it. And now clip 4, Jenna, get this one ready. This one, I want you to watch, and I want you to pay very, very close attention to what he's saying. Okay, and then the very end. Clip 4, Jenna.
Including a young woman who just was. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
What in the hell was that? Number one, let's talk about the moderator. Joey B takes one quick breath and she goes, "Thank you." She's not supposed to thank him like that. What she did was save his ass, because he was going down a water slide of hell where he didn't know what was going on. And you could tell, remember, he had been in Camp David for 7 days prior, and they had been pumping him up with whatever to keep him awake. Number two, they've been prepping him, because being a politician for 50 years, you think he's done a couple of debates, obviously, but he still needed 7 days of prep. 7 days. This is after 7 days of prep, man. This is after 7 days of practice. I could do a debate right now in an hour and be better prepared. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Not a bonus says, I hope Biden is not near that red or green button. Just say it. I agree with you 1,000%. I don't think he has the strength to push a button, let alone walk over to it. But his talking points. So they give him talking points. Okay, Joey B, when they talk about LGBTQs, you're going to talk about this. When they talk about immigrants, you're going to talk about this. When they talk about the Rona, you're going to talk about this. When they're going to talk about abortion, you're going to talk about this. And you can see in that one where his talking points just get crossed up, where he's gone this lane, this lane, and this lane, and all of a sudden the roads went like this in his head. And you're just looking at it like, oh my God. This is one of those moments where he's just going to go down. Like he can't keep going because his mind isn't working, and it's not his fault. The dude is old. He should be in a rocking chair with an Afghan on his legs, eating some tapioca pudding, enjoying life, looking at the hummingbirds out the window. That's it. That's all he's got left. And it just doesn't make a sense. And you're thinking, oh, Rubio, he's always been like this. I've seen it. It's always been like this. Jenna's going to show you clip 5, and I want you to watch the comparison. There's billions of hours of this type of stuff. Clip 5, Jenna.
Continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
He wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for the ability for the.
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I oppose.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if you will determine the outcome of this election, vote. Vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot.
Okay. That's 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Look how bad he's gotten. And like I said, I'm not putting the guy down. I'm sad for this dude. His legacy is trash now. If that's happened in 4 years, and you're telling me he's going to be able to be president for another 4 years? I honestly, I'd be shocked if he makes it another 4 months. And I'm not even talking about making it in the campaign. I'm talking about making it in life. This guy, he's got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. And that banana peel is on wet marble. I just don't get it. And it just doesn't make sense. So the debate ends. They have this great back and forth about golf. You pull up some clips on that if you want, but it's hilarious. Where Joey B says he could outdrive or beat El Trumpo in golf. And Trump says, I've seen your swing. You can't drive at 50 yards. And it's very funny. It's like two dudes just yelling at each other. Yeah, Chevy and Nasty, that is hard to watch. I know. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's honestly just sad. And I say make an age cap. I 100% agree with you. I mean, you should take cognitive tests, because there's a lot of people. I mean, Trump's 81, 82. He's sharp as a damn tack. Does he fabricate some stuff? Obviously, every politician does. Does he tell some long-winded tales? Of course he does. He's an actor. He's an actor that does the president, but he's been a great president. You can't say things were better or not better under El Trumpo. Go to the grocery store. I dare you. Talk to me about that. All right. And then after CNN pulls the cameras away and they're done, but they have still some cameras gone that got leaked out. Watch, this is going to be clip 6, Jenna. Watch him navigate the stairs. That looks like if you had I remember when my kids were young, like 2, 3, and you take them to the escalator for the first time or even downstairs. That's how you had to walk them down, because they're like, what the hell are these things? Or even like an escalator, or, it's just that's Dr. Jill, his wife, which I'm going to get to her too. She comes over and basically step by step. And it's not like he's climbing the Great Wall of China. We're talking 3 steps, man. What does that show to the rest of the world that this is our country's leader? That's not good. I'm not saying he needs to be, benching 500 pounds, but for the love of God, okay, don't look so feeble and weak. That's just sad. So right after the debate, he goes into one of those other hotels, and he's got this rah-rah. They have this big campaign fundraiser where they're going, and all his fans, quote unquote fans, are there, and they are hooting and hollering. And I want you to tell me how sad this is that Dr. Jill, his wife, who I'm calling out right now, she might be the most evil woman on the planet for what she's doing to this dude. Watch what she does to Joey B. It's going to be clip 20, Jenna, clip 20.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Jenna, play it one more time. I got to watch it one more time.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
That's the way you talk to a 5-year-old. You took a dump in the toilet. You did such a good job. Wow. Yeah, you answered all the questions. Who cares if you answered all the questions if you look terrible doing it? You can't. Oh, you answered all the SAT questions, but you did it all wrong, and you had the pencil stuck up your butt while you were writing, and you scribbled on the table because you had the pencil up your butt, and you didn't get anything right. Who cares if you answered all the questions? His wife is pushing this. What is wrong with her? Good God, stop this already. Exactly. I'm telling you, Dr. Jill, she is the most evil woman on the planet for the fact that they're trying to do this and going over and over and over with it and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep pushing him. Let the guy go down, and not in flames. Let him just go in a corner and sit and pet a cat. It's enough. Also, enough of their winners and losers. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about accepting and embracing the next choice. Oh, this is going to get good. All right, Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Hello, we are the MD and Chef team. I'm nutritional chef Michael, joined by my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel, medical doctor and suicide survivor.
Yes, I was dropped into the world of mental illness back in 2013, and by the grace of God, I survived suicide. But here's what I learned. We don't have a mental illness issue. That's the downstream event. We're focusing downstream. We should be focusing upstream on our brain health and all the things that we can be doing to support our brain health. Because you see, it's like mopping up the floor when the sink is overflowing instead of turning off the faucet. So come and join us on the MD and Chef Team show.
Come join us.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, MD and Chef. I love that show. You guys, it's 6 p.m. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm telling you right now, well worth watching it. They do a live show as well. You got MD is the lady, the chef is the dude. They are quirky. They are funny. They're the kind of couple you want to go out and have dinner with. Jenna's got an email question. Do you run camps year round? Oh yeah, obviously I run long-standing camps year round. I just got back from Florida. It was, let's go. I want you to imagine the devil's butthole on fire with lava coming out. That's how hot it was. That's pretty accurate of how hot it was. So yeah, I do year round. Next stop is, where am I going to be? I'm going to be in Idaho. I'm running 3 camps in Idaho in January 6, 7, 8, all the way through 14. Good question. You can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com anytime you want. Accept and embrace. So as you can clearly see, Joey B is not the answer. And during the entire show, the debate, they were, news articles were literally coming out saying, hey, Joey B needs to step down. They had articles already written. The watching MSNBC and CNN, those shows after, because I was still on the plane, I was jumping over to their talk shows and they had their panelists. And these are obviously very left-wing panelists. They were like, what did we just watch, man? This is not good. And they'd have to have one person would chime in and say, oh, actually, I thought he did really well on this. And the rest of the panel, no, man. That's enough. And it's almost like the mainstream media is telling the government, we ran this facade long enough. We can't cover this anymore. You should have done that debate. Everyone can see what's going on because it was 90 minutes uncut. All right. And it's no longer, we can't just funnel the parts that we want them to see. They saw all the things behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz. And so now all hell's breaking loose. The problem is they're talking about it. And who's obviously the next successor to Joey B is the VP. And this is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is not a good VP. She's not good. She may be a great human being, fun to party with, but as a VP, she's trash. Okay, she's supposedly the border czar, where she's in charge of the border. She's been to the border once. Like that's literally it, just one time. Okay, and she's done nothing to fix it. Where they've had, I think, was it 18 million people come across illegally? And they're like, well, that's her only job right now. And she's done that poorly. And everyone in the campaign, Joey B's campaign, knows that she's not the answer. How do I know she knows not the answer? Because today they started putting out fundraiser emails that said flat out, if you don't start fundraising for Joey B and stand behind Joey B, next up is Kamala. Like basically saying, if Joey B goes down, you get Kamala. You think that's bad? That's like Rubio saying, okay, I don't want chicken salad, which I don't like chicken salad. But if you don't want chicken salad, Rubio, you get poutine. I'll eat the chicken salad. I'm not getting the poutine. All right. And that's what it's like. And so they're even going again. Yeah, ouch is right, Jenna. I don't want to tell you. Okay. Now, if you don't know, because if you don't know what I know, which of course you may not know, that's a lot of no's. Kamala is famous for her word salads. A word salad is where I want you to imagine you're in 5th grade and you had to do a book report. And it had to be an oral book report. So you have to go up and you have to speak for 2 minutes on this book and say it's a 50-page book. But you were lazy, you're procrastinating, you're a 10-year-old, you didn't read the book at all. It's your turn. You get up there and Mrs. Smith calls on you and says, okay, Rubio, tell me about your book report. And you're like, well, this book, it's about a dog and the dog's in the book and the book is about a dog because the book centers around a dog and what this dog does in the book. Okay. And you're thinking, Rubio, it's not that bad. So clip 7, you're going to hear some wise words from Kamala. Go ahead, Jenna.
When you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
So the importance of community banks is they are, as they are called, they're in the community, led by members of the community. They are people who understand the capacity of the community, the needs of the community, the culture of the community.
Space is exciting.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
That was painful. And the funny thing is, the best part is, that's not a Saturday Night Live skit. Those are all real clips. And number two, that's an ad from El Trumpo. Like, it's so bad that Trump's making ads with just her talking. Like, that's how bad she is. And that last one, the unburdened one, Jenna, can you play clip 8, I think it is?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been?
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What we can see.
Oh my God. And here's the best part. That's like a 35-second clip. The actual clip of it is like 7 minutes, where some intern wrote this line. She says, yeah, that's a good line. And she has a little talking point where she hits it. And don't get me wrong, I understand politicians will use a similar talking point or something that they hit pretty much every single time, unless you're El Trumpo, because God knows what the hell he's talking about. But this one is just bad. It's not even a good line. And she just beats it to death over and over and over and over. That's only 30 seconds. Like I said, the original clip is like 7 minutes long. So that's just not good. And I don't know what they're going to do, because you're talking about bringing in other people like Gavin Newsom, Hillary, even Michelle Obama. I don't know. It might be too late, because the problem is Kamala, she's from the Democratic Party, obviously, and he hired her or picked her as a VP because she was a black woman. Everyone's going to say, Rubio, are you racist for that? That's literally what he said. He goes, I'm going to pick a black female. Okay. So now he got the quote unquote best black female instead of just the best candidate. So now he's stuck with her. She's a DEI hire. Okay. That's what she's there for. She's there for because she's black and she's a chick. That's the only two reasons. She's not great on foreign affairs. She's obviously not great at the border. She's not a wordsmith, as you can clearly see. So that's the only reason why she's there. And now they're stuck with her. So what are they going to do? So let's talk about how the media is portraying this now. Working hard is not enough. Here's the next session. The wheels have come off and everyone is starting to backpedal. Pictures immediately started coming out in the paper. And I want you to notice the difference about what they're saying about Joey B from a week ago to right now. And then we'll keep going with some clips as well. Jenna, do you have pick 10? Where is it? How misleading videos are trailing Biden as he battles aged outs. It's frightening. Democratic voters worried by Biden's struggles in debate. Okay, now pick 9, Jenna. To serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. Look at this is the next day, like 8 p.m. Eastern. Like this is how fast the machine starts moving. Like, oh, good God, the wheels have come off. We got to figure out what the hell we're doing. And yay, he was great a week ago. Now get the hell out. And everyone's, what are you talking about? We've been watching this forever. Like, how have you not seen this? And even on CNN, the channel that loves Joey B and hates El Trumpo, even they did a fact check. They've never done a fact check on Joey B. You have clip 11 ready for me, Jenna? Watch this.
To some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. isn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he supported, never endorsed him himself.
That's bad. And that last one where he's talking about Joe B in the debate said, and Border Patrol's always supported me. Literally right then, the Border Patrol put out a post on X and says, we have never supported nor will ever support Joey B. He got fact checked by the border right in live footage. That's not good. CNN is already going against them. That's really not good. And so the next day, Joey B has to pick up the pieces. He's got to, oh, God, because we've got that cold, so we've got to go out and fix it. Go mop up the mess. What are we going to do? Mop up the mess. Mop up the mess. So he goes on to this campaign fundraiser in North Carolina. He does this big speech. Dr. Jill, his wife, the most evil woman on the planet, she's leading it, obviously, because he can't. Now, mind you, I guess his cold is gone. Because remember, he had a cold for 90 minutes, but now it's gone, so he's out in public again. I want you to watch him do this. Watch him freeze and look at his facial expression. Go ahead. This is clip 12, Jenna.
I saw in him then the same character that I see in him today. And even though he has faced unimaginable tragedies, his optimism is undaunted. His strength is unshakable. His hope is undeterred.
If that's the face of hope, we've got problems. We might have to rewrite the definition of hope. That looked like the face of, I think Jenna said it earlier, just dementia / lost / it looked like someone taking a dump. Like, that's just not good, man. That is not good. There's no way you could honestly look at that and say, he's got it. He's 100% got it. Joey B, he looks great. That's fantastic. You just can't think that. You just can't. There's no way. And even CNN, I'll go back to CNN because there's so much on the left. Okay. Watch them blast him. This is the night right after the debate. Clip 13, Jenna.
If anybody in America thinks that was even close to being an okay debate by Joe Biden, I'm living in a parallel universe. That was an unmitigated disaster for President Biden from the second he walked out to the closing statement. The biggest issue for Democrats is abortion, and he couldn't give an answer. He gave an answer he couldn't even give a coherent answer on the biggest issue for Democrats tonight. I've heard from leading Democrats across the United States, elected governors, congressmen, who are texting me and saying, I'm worried I'm going to lose if Joe Biden's at the top of the ticket.
That is no bueno for Joey B. And like I said, I don't blame him, man. I don't think he knows what's going on at all. I blame his wife. I blame anyone that's around him. And they already went back to Camp David on Sunday, this past weekend again. And they were having a family gathering to see exactly what he should be doing. Between the two countries, we cannot find two people to run these two countries. Yeah, no kidding. I think there's answers out there. You just got to look for them, you know. And he went back, and guess who the two people that told him, no, you need to stay in that race. You need to do it. Obviously, Dr. Jill. She pushed it the most. Number two, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. Why do you think Hunter Biden wants his dad to remain as president? Maybe to have that much power, maybe to pardon him. Remember, just Hunter B is not a very, let's just say, classy human being. He's all over the place. He's just a shit show, to say the least. And this next one, this is clip 14, Jenna. Get it ready for me. We got Joe Scarborough. Okay, he does the morning show with Joe. His wife was the one that we started the show with. That's his wife. She did all that, the narration of the Joey B thing. This is him talking about Joey B literally, I think it was 3 weeks ago. Go ahead, Jenna.
Herring, that guy's mental state. I've said it for years now. He's cogent. Mm-hmm. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people knew this or not. Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
So either Joe Scarborough is lying or he's an idiot. That's the only two options you can have right there. Because there's just no way, if he says this is the best Biden, this is his best. Where was his worst? You can't get worse than this. I just don't understand it. So he's either lying or he's an idiot. That's the only two answers, because there's no way you can watch it and say, oh, Joey B's got it. He's the best. So I just don't understand it. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial, and then I'm going to come back with confidence is the key in the bottom line. We're going to wrap this baby up, put a bow on it. Jenna, Anna.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Hey, it's AC of AC Sports Live, an interactive sports talk show where your comments are part of the show. Every show we focus on the sports stories of today, with commentary on sports takes, My 2 Cents, which is a reaction to my social media feed, Sports Flicks, where we take a look at sports movies and give a quick review. We have a segment called Mental Reps, where we have words of inspiration to help battle the dark side of men's mental health. And then there's the Tender Love Report. Who's being soft or petty in the world of sports? All takes are welcome under one condition. Say it with your chest. I'll see you there.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, to my new friends at Marcos Island out near Naples. You guys, really thank you for your hospitality. You guys did a great job with Sailor and I really appreciate you guys. I think it was on Friday night, and big hugs from Idaho. I know you guys are going through some stuff right now, but big hugs from Idaho. Welcome back to episode 67 of the Rubio Method. Normally the whole show is not so political. I like to do some fun and games and all that, but this one, the debate was so outlandish that I felt like I had to, and I actually had a lot of people requesting, saying, Rubio, we can't wait to watch a show. That's why it's on Monday instead of Tuesday as well. All right. Confidence is the key. The confidence that El Trumpo had doing this debate is outlandish. I thought it was a bad move. When he agreed to do it, I didn't think it was a good move. Then when they had all the rules, it was on CNN moderators. I was like, this is not going to be good. They're going to just blast him. They're not going to let him speak. Because remember, the new rules were like, one of the rules was no audience. And that actually worked out very well for El Trumpo because he plays to the crowd. I can tell you from speaking gigs and doing this show, when I'm in front of a crowd, it's a lot easier to speak. It's a lot easier to do a show because you can feed off the audience. You're out there and you catch someone's eye, you catch someone, and then they're connected to you. And then you smile and they smile, and then you find someone else and they connect, and you can see that they're absorbing everything you talk about. You can easily do a show or a speech much, much better with a good crowd, or with just a crowd in general. Right now I'm sitting in my studio and it's about a 10 by 10 foot room. You got lights and a screen and the camera right here. And it's a lot harder getting up here and speaking for 48 minutes with no one in the room. I'm saying something funny. I think it's funny. Sometimes Jenna will laugh in the comment section, or she says, you killed me. But it's a lot harder to understand. Are they getting it? Are they picking up what I'm dropping? Can you dig it? It has been dug. I don't know. So it's one of those where being without an audience, way better for El Trumpo because he couldn't play to the audience. He couldn't hear them clapping, laughing, doing all that. And that's where he becomes kind of from just a normal ass to like a mega ass. And that helped him. Another thing that helped him out was one of the rules, they wanted him muted. Whoever wasn't speaking got muted. Their mic did not work. So he didn't have the chance to go to mega ass status again because he was just his normal self. And you saw his great facial expressions, but he never could get to that point where he would just start going over Joey B and fighting back and forth, fighting back and forth, fighting back and forth. It forced him to listen, just make facial expressions and not respond. He couldn't. And so that hurt Joey B. The no audience and the no commenting in stopped El Trumpo for being El Trumpo. And everyone said, wow, he looked really presidential. It was kind of weird. Yeah. Because he was basically forced to shut up. I mean, that's what I've always said before. El Trumpo, great president. Is he an ass? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Does he get things done? Yep, 1,000%. but he sometimes is an ass. He says stupid things. Okay, I'll take someone who says stupid things. Then everything, prices are lower. The country's a lot better. Other worlds are not fighting with each other. Other countries, and that's what we had under El Trumpo. So his confidence to do this debate paid off big time. Now, the only problem with it is that they agreed to the debate so early that now the Democrats possibly do have a possibility of replacing Joey B, whether before the convention, which I think is in 4 weeks, something like that, or before, he goes down. Because this guy can't, I don't see him making it 4 years, let alone 4 months. Okay, 4 months, let alone 4 years. I don't see it. It doesn't look that good. So now, let's wrap up. The bottom line for all you new watchers and listeners is just things that you should have learned within the show without even realizing you learned it. Number one, if you know something that can help people, but you don't tell them, you are actually hurting them. If you know something that can help people, but you don't tell them, you are actually hurting them. This has to go right to the mainstream media. They knew all along. They knew back from 2019 when he was getting no one. Remember how they locked him in his room and he couldn't campaign because the COVID was super evil, yet El Trumpo was out campaigning thousands and thousands of people. The COVID was just a way to keep Joey B hidden. They've hidden him for so long that now people are, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. I'm so surprised. I only watched this news and I only read this paper. Okay, it's crazy. Chevy Nasty, great work tonight, Rubio team. I really appreciate the work you put into breaking it's all down. Great production. Thanks, man. I appreciate that very much. Number two, hire the best people for the job, not just the ones that check a box. This goes to Kamala. Like I said, she might be a nice person. She might be fun to hang out with, great dancer. I don't know. But was she the best one for the VP job? No. And why was she chosen? Because she was a black female. He even said, I'm hiring a black female. And so that's what you get. Number three, sometimes gambling does pay off. El Trumpo stuck his chest out, swung it around, and just said, okay, I'll debate this guy anywhere, anyplace, anytime. And I was like, oh, God, this is not going to be good. El Trumpo, don't. You're going to walk into the lion's den. And it paid off. And they were such low expectations for Joey B as well that they were just saying, like, all he's got to do is just not die on stage. Well, he didn't die, but he basically metaphorically did die. It was really, really bad. Nanamonis says, love your honesty, Rubio. You're right out there. Yes, I am. 100%. I have to be honest. It's easier to remember. Hey, that was a great show. Great show. We got through it all. Next week, I'm not going to talk as much politics. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't even make it through this episode. She hasn't made it through the last couple. And so I promise I'm going to have her give me some topics. Non-political topics. Man, I might sprinkle in a couple of political ones as well, though. Thanks for everyone that watched on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. This will be on Spotify and iTunes within 24 hours. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And spread the word about the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching the Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word. And don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.